You are Locked On Rockets Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I have to add myself to the stage. Well, that was not the best of nights for the Houston Rockets out there in Sacramento, and I think that you walk away from that one not a big fan of the Sacramento Kings based on what we watched out there tonight. Hello and welcome to the late night edition of the Locked On Rockets Postcast live here on YouTube. If you're watching this later on, appreciate you guys as always. Y'all have been absolutely crushing it watching these shows, and I'm so grateful for it. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Rockets Postcast is brought to you by the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. So we got a lot to get into today. Late tonight here on a Wednesday night, almost into, is it Wednesday? Tuesday night, almost into Wednesday morning. That's how late it is. I would have preferred to stay up this late to talk about a win, but, I guess I can't be too picky about it, right? Here's where I think the game got out of hand tonight. And by the way, I'm your host, Michael Connor. Sorry, I'm just all over the place right now because it's late and, it is what it is. Appreciate you guys always. If you've been around, I've been on this channel since we've been doing this since April. Been on the radio in Houston for a very long time, and now we're doing it here with Locked On. And we're talking about this loss tonight. I think the sticking point to this basketball game tonight was the little scuffle there in the second quarter. Apparently there was some words being exchanged pregame between these two teams. There was a lot of chirping going on during the game as well. Dillon Brooks is in the mix, as Dillon Brooks will be one to do. And then there's that play where Jabari Smith gets fouled and then falls. And you have De'Aaron Fox over there, saying it's a flop. And I will side. I think Dillon Brooks at times can get way too into his antics with crap. I didn't have a problem with Dillon Brooks tonight with when De'Aaron Fox points that finger at you. In sports, and this might sound silly to some, but in sports, that universal, getting your finger in somebody's face, basically, they're not going to take kindly to that. And I'd knock his hand out of the way too. I walked away from tonight's game not understanding why the Sacramento Kings are so butthurt, I guess is the best way to put it. And also why they don't act like they've been. I know that that's a team that's struggling this season. They've not played to their expectation level. They came into tonight's game, dead last in the NBA Cup. This was an NBA Cup game. Dead last in the group that the Rockets are in. So they're not advancing in it. And they're outside of the playoff picture in the Western Conference at the moment. I just didn't understand the vitriol, maybe. I know that there were some moments last year that they had some dust-ups, I guess, between these two teams. But this whole feistiness I didn't get it. The Rockets style is the Rockets style, right? They're going to get under a lot of teams' skin because, one, they play harder than basically everybody else in the league. Two, they're defensive minded. And three, they got guys that are just bleep holes, right? And I think that they know that that's their identity and they play to that. That's part of the reason why they're having such a successful year. Their defense, what they do defensively, and the way that they play aids in that type of effort that they have every single night. And at times, and I think tonight was one of those nights where the edge got a little too much edge for the Rockets. And then you saw how quickly this game got out of hand. I look, credit to Sacramento. They went into the hat. After that moment that little dust up. They took it and they ran with it. They played way better basketball than the Rockets after that point of the game. I just didn't understand any of it at all. Like, these two teams don't have a history at all. I mean, the Sacramento franchise overall has no history other than the Mike Bibby, Chris Webber years, the Rick Adelman coach years, former Rockets coach. But, like, other than that, it's not like that franchise is riddled with a bunch of history, right? I just that's what I keep going back to. Like, I keep walking away from it and going, what was all that? You know? I just don't know. They hate Dylan Brooks that much. And honestly, if I'm a Kings fan and I'm watching all that and I'm going, I mean, yeah, you love getting your guys going. And I think this is the difference in a good team this season and a team that's underperforming, right? They have to find all those little things to get themselves going. And I had it up on my computer, so I'm working in my office tonight. I've watched the game in my office tonight here at the house. I usually watch it on the TV, so I'm watching the Rockets broadcast tonight. I just pulled it up on the internet. I'm having to listen to the Sacramento Kings broadcast, which, by the way, was horrible to listen to. Mark Jones, oh my God. I mean, you could not have gotten – that is one thing I appreciate like crazy for Craig Ackerman and Ryan Hollins in their broadcast. They don't let their homerism like bleed into everything. It was just – and I know it's like that across it. And the Rockets used to have that with Bill Worrell and Clyde Drexler. It was so bad. But – I mean, it's just it was a hard listen. As somebody that used to be in the broadcasting world, that you wanted to be impartial. Like, I did a lot of pre and post game shows to where, on the post game shows you're a little bit more homerish because I'm a fan of the team. I've always been a fan of the team. But in the pregame, like, you want to be professional, you want to be down the middle, you want to analyze, you want to do all those things. I'm just like, man, it was a rough one, and they're just dog bleep cussing basically without cussing everything that is, Rockets involved. Hey, look, here's the good news tonight. I guess if you're a Rockets fan, they lost the basketball game. It was not a good loss, right? I think at their effort level at times in the second half, I don't say it's poor. Maybe the focus kind of went away at periods of time. And it can happen. It's human nature when you get down in a basketball game, you start losing like that. It is what it is. I guess the good news is that you got teams gunning for you, right? And I think that's maybe what I walk away with more than anything else, is that you have teams gunning for you on a nightly basis. Sacramento looks at you and says that they need to come out and spark their season by beating you and act like that and have all those things happen to spark their season back in the right direction. You're the team that's not doing that now. Okay. I like that. What I'd like more, though, is getting the win. What I would like more of is maybe a little bit more consistency on the offensive side outside of everybody. But I mean, look, it was the Jalen Green show tonight, right? That was basically it. More than anything else. Jalen tonight, 28 points. He was tremendous. 24 for Alpy, and I thought it was a tough 24 for him tonight. You got 13 out of Fred, 8 out of Dylan, 6 out of Jabari. Tari was good off the bench. That was it, basically. Because I'm not going to count the 6 for Aaron Holiday and the 6 for Reed Shepherd. He had a couple of those early on. But, so overall, your bench did not help. It's not like they shot the ball poorly tonight. I think what it came down to is, go look at Sacramento. They got inspired. They got red hot, and they ended up shooting. And in part on your defense, 52% from the field, 47 from three. You allow those kind of numbers, guess what you're going to do? You're going to give 120 points like the Rockets did, and and you're going to go out there and you're going to lose the basketball game. It's what happens. Let's talk about the end of the game. Coach Ime Udoka and Alperen Şengün getting tossed. I don't think they're wrong for getting tossed. We'll talk about why they got tossed here in just a couple seconds on the Locked On Rockets Postcast. Let me tell you guys right now about PrizePicks. Have you played PrizePicks yet? Well, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? I tell you all the time, get in on PrizePicks. Make these games even more fun than they already are. Because they are, look, even if they lost tonight, you can still have fun, right? But I will say this, it's even more fun when you got a little action on it with PrizePicks. I am a big fan of PrizePicks and NBA action. I'm telling you, points, rebound, assist totals. Oh, man, I see those and I'm like, let's go. We got to go right now. Hey, did you know right now you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks? And PrizePicks always puts their members first, so all withdrawals are safe and fast and secure. When your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. You sign up today and you get $50 instantly. When you play $5, you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday each Tuesday. PrizePicks discounts select players' projections up to 25% to provide you for more value for your lineup. So next Tuesday, do not miss out on Taco Tuesday. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Before we get back to our Rockets discussion, I want to give you guys one more reminder. I want to tell you about the Game Time app. Game Time app is, well, fantastic. You're looking to get into a game, whether it's a basketball game, football game, or you know what, baseball will be back. Maybe you live in a city where there's hockey available to you. The Game Time app has all the games right there and all the best prices for you in that app. It's not just about sports. It's comedies. It's theater. It's whatever it is that you're looking for that requires a ticket. Guess what has it? Game Time app. Download it today. Inside that app, you're going to find some great features like the all-in pricing. I always love to mention this one to you guys because, well, when you have the all-in pricing, guess what you get? Everything that you're paying for up front. You don't get to check out and say, why do I have 8 billion fees here? No. You go in the app, you toggle this feature, and it tells you from the jump, all in price. So that way, if you see it, you don't like it, you keep scrolling to the next one. It is that fantastic. They also have my next favorite feature, which is the seat views. I don't understand why anybody would buy tickets to something without seeing the seat view. You get the seat view right there in the app with a panoramic seat view inside of the app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Create an account. Download the app, download Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. Sorry, you have to watch me drink water here live on YouTube. I'm parched. Again, you guys don't even want to know how late past my bedtime this is. I'm your host, Michael Connor. It's not too late, actually, because most nights we do these shows like, 9:30, 10-ish when we do these shows. But it's late, especially when you got a 5:45 wake-up call to take your nephew to basketball practice before school tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. It'd be a better day if the Rockets had won tonight. We're talking about this Rockets loss to the Kings. The Rockets have been playing such great basketball. Snaps their little 3-game winning streak that they've been on. They had won 5 of their previous 6 overall as well. Rockets falling now on the season to 15-7, 6-4 on the road. Appreciate you guys stopping by, staying up late tonight, watching the show. If you're new to this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. When you hit that subscribe button, guess what you'll be? You'll be right here with us on this show after every single game. Also, make sure that you check it out in audio form. Go and search for Locked On Rockets anywhere that you get your podcast, and it is absolutely free. And you get 2 shows there, not just this show. This is your post-game show. I'm going to keep reminding you guys because I saw a couple more comments about it the other night in the YouTube comments section, wondering if this was a thing or not knowing that this is how this works. So Locked On Rockets is the daily show with Jackson Gatlin, who does a tremendous job. You should be following him on social media. You should be following him on YouTube as well. You should be watching his show, listening to his show every day that something comes out. He also puts up content from practices, from press conferences, from everything. So go watch all that stuff from the Locked On Rockets page. But this is the post-game show. That's why it's called the Postcast, the Locked On Rockets Postcast. After every game, we go live. We talk about the win or the loss. And then you're right here with us so you can join us. And we do this for Rockets. We do this for Texans. We do this for Astros. We do this for the Houston Cougars. It is a Houston page, and you guys have grown it so quickly, and I'm so appreciative of it. It is my favorite thing in 2024 is how quickly this page blew up because of you guys. And you guys been, like I mentioned earlier, killing it on these Rocket shows. I am so grateful for it, watching so much of them. It is awesome to see this thing go in the right direction, like the Rockets have been this season. Now, tonight's not one of those nights. Ime Udoka and Alperen Şengün get tossed at the end of the game tonight. And I am not a big come on shows and bash officiating guy. If it's egregious, yes. But like overall, you know, I take every bit of officiating in every sport with a grain of salt, right? In the NBA now, they basically can go and review everything to where I don't feel like it's as bad. I'm a massive hater of the last 2-minute report. I think it's great that they have transparency, but then you go see them, oh, well, we made this mistake and that mistake, and it could have cost this team that game, basically, is what they're telling you. It's just that stuff rubs me the wrong way. Baseball, I've always known that there's a human element to it, and even if the strike zone's egregious, I'll point it out. I'm not going to just sit there and blame it all on that. It's not worth my time. Same goes for football. There's judgment calls. There's overprotection of things. I think when you have replay available to you to fix things, you should utilize it. It's technology. It makes everything better. All right, not everything, but it makes a lot of things better. It's made a lot of parts of sports better, and that can be said for this too. Ime Udoka tonight and Alperen Şengün. I say all that to again kind of bring home the point that I'm not a Cohen blame everything on officiating every night. I'm not blaming the Rockets' loss tonight by any means on officiating. The Rockets lost the game tonight because the Sacramento Kings played great basketball, and the Rockets' basketball wasn't good enough, and their defensive effort overall wasn't good enough to keep the Kings at bay. I did think, and it went both ways too, but I really thought that the officiating tonight was just not good. I thought it was very picky and very choosy at times, and I think that's where it stands out. You let something go down here, and then it doesn't get let go down at the other end. Or, I thought that they were too quick to go throwing out a bunch of technicals. And I think that you just saw a boiling point, at the end of the game. Udoka's he wears his emotions on his sleeve with those things. And every game that goes by, I just become a bigger and bigger fan of his. And what he's meant to this Rockets team, turning this thing around the way that they have. I mean, he is a great basketball coach. And I also love the fact that he goes out there and does this because he's standing up for his players. That's a huge message to his locker room. And I think that those guys have really exuded him. He's a guy that grew up in that pop system, playing in it, coaching under it. He has brought a toughness to this franchise that's been lacking. It was very lacking during the Stephen Silas era. And I think at moments like tonight are reminders to his team. Not that they need reminders. Those are moments to his team that they can sit there, hey, man, this guy's got our back. Alpy's down here getting whacked all night and nothing's happening. It's just, I hate to see when those kind of moments come up in a sporting event, because that tells you to me, like, I know there's bias involved on each side, but when I always say when one side of it is going that ballistic, it usually means that something really egregious is typically going on. And I don't know if it was overly egregious tonight. I haven't seen any quotes from Ime Udoka yet. It's very late. I don't know if anybody's putting anything out like that tonight on him. Anyways, but Ime Udoka, here you go. Ime Udoka tonight on the officiating in the loss to Sacramento. Now I'm going to bleep out the curse words. You're calling ticky-tacky moving screens and little S word like that, but you don't get the call. You don't get to call the obvious ones right in front of you. Told them to get some effing glasses and open their eyes. Open your eyes. Ime Udoka, give him the key to the city. I think it's great. He's not, and I made the mistake of going and looking at the comments on the tweet already, and just everybody, he's not blaming it on the officials. He's just saying you can point out. That's what people on the internet. That's the problem with the internet. People can't read and comprehend, right? You can point out when something's bad and not have any intent of it being blamed. And that's not for me for this show tonight. Let the record reflect. I am not blaming the Rockets' loss one bit on officiating. You can call out that the officiating was bad. That is 1,000% something you can do. And it was bad. The Rockets benefited from it tonight. The Kings benefited from it. It's just frustrating when, like he said, like I mentioned him, but even before I read the quote, they're calling ticky-tacky stuff here and there, and then you're letting guys get whacked across the face or doing and it's happening right in front of a. What are you doing? What are you doing at that point? I think that's where the frustration is. So that's my point on that tonight. Hey, the Rockets will be right back in action Thursday night, staying out there on the West Coast, taking on the Golden State Warriors. We'll take a quick look at that one next here on the Locked On Rockets Postcast. It's the time of year where we all want to help each other out, right? Well, maybe you need a little bit of help, and that's okay to sit there and talk about how, you could have some help in life. Your favorite things in life this time of the year, the holidays. For me, look at me. I'm in my sweatshirt right now. I've got sweatpants on. Being cozy at home this time of the year, it's fantastic. But maybe, you want to benefit yourself a little bit more and, make these moments be even better. And you're going to do that by going to BetterHelp. You can benefit today from therapy. That's right. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. Sorry, you get to, again, watch my massive water jug come into play here on the Locked On Rockets postcast after the loss tonight to the Sacramento Kings. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight, live or after. You can join us every single game when we talk about the Rockets and if they won or they lost right here live on this channel. We will do this again Thursday night because the Rockets will head off to San Francisco, which is not too far from Sacramento. I don't know how much of an upgrade it is. It's California, and, they're not the greatest cities in the world. Beautiful state, not the best cities. But Sacramento to San Francisco, where they'll take on a Golden State team that I think you want a little bit of revenge or to avenge the loss earlier this season. It's one of those of the Rockets' losses on the season, which they don't have a lot of those so far. Only 7. That's one of the ones that stands out. That, of course, was early in the season. The Rockets fell to 3-3 that night. That was the overtime loss where they climbed all the way back and then just couldn't do anything in overtime. As I have the schedule up, I forgot to mention, we'll see how the next time that this goes between the Rockets and the Sacramento Kings. These two teams will not see each other again until the 16th of January That's a Thursday night, which will actually be a TNT night, national TV, out there in Sacramento. Another late night one for that one. So just wanted to mention that real quick. But this Golden State game, Golden State's one of the playoff teams in the Western Conference right now. They got off to a blazing hot start. They've come back down to earth a little bit of late. They've lost they've lost 4 in a row as they'll be entering this one. So, that's a team you can beat. And I think anybody that thinks that they can't is probably a little bit crazy. We'll see what the health situation is for Golden State and that one. Draymond Green is out, has been out. We'll see if he's available. It's atmosphere that's always difficult to go into and play as well. But you know that the Rockets are going to be thinking about coming in there and probably doing a little venting via basketball for the way the Sacramento game ended tonight. Don't forget again to join us as soon as that game ends live here on this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Come back and join us for every single show. Appreciate you guys staying up late with me tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night and morning. We'll talk to you again late night Thursday night after Rockets and Warriors in the Locked On Rockets.